Welcome to this program brought to you by TriVita, featuring Nopalea, the science-supported product created to address chronic inflammation. Stay tuned to receive your free bottle of Nopalea.
I thought I was dying. You have severe chronic inflammation in your body. You will have no quality of life, and you will certainly die a premature death. That's how serious my pain level was. How could this be happening to me? I clearly remember that journey that I made deep into the Sonoran Desert in Mexico. I'd made plans with the indigenous people of that area to do an adventure with them, and I was so excited about that adventure. What I didn't know, that it would actually be a divine destiny in the discovery of a plant in the Sonoran Desert that would bring healing and health to many. But that night, a special night, we were all around the campfire, and I just remember the crackling of the mesquite wood, the smell of the mesquite wood smoke, and I love mesquite wood smoke. I also remember we were far from the city and the sky, dark, but the galaxies of stars, they were like millions of them, and I was in awe of our Creator and the peace and the quietness of the desert. But as we were around the fire, they began to chatter, and as they chattered, and they were laughing, it was like, oh, we're having a good time. All of a sudden, it changed. The mood changed. Now, I couldn't understand them because they were talking in their language, but I could understand the feeling of what they were projecting emotionally. It went to respect, and then it went to what I would call revere, and then it went to what I would also call a sacred moment. At that time, I told my translator, I said, would you come over here and sit with me and tell me what are they talking about? As they came and sat with me, he began to share about what they were talking about. Now, I couldn't understand them, but I did understand what they were projecting as far as in their feelings. And he said, oh, they're talking about the ancient people, their warriors, how strong they were, and how athletic. And this is what he said that really caught my attention. He said they knew every plant in the desert for its nutritional value and also for its medicinal value. Every plant. Well, I know the scripture in Genesis 1:29 when God said, behold, I have given you every plant with seed on the face of the earth, including the Sonoran Desert, and every tree with seed in the fruit to be your food. When he said that, it was like that scripture inspired me and connected me to how they knew about the plants and the nutritional value. Many times us as North Americans, we think about food in a different way. We think about how it tastes. We think about, times with our friends and with our family. We think of how it makes us feel. But they knew from a nutritional and from a medicinal value. Well, doing that, I knew I had to go home and do research. So we headed for Arizona. When I got there, followed up with ASU, Arizona State University, people at the University of Arizona also helped me do research in regard to the plants and the people of the Sonoran Desert. And so the research started. Well, one of the things that happened is we had the opportunity of meeting with a biologist who happened to be a part of the indigenous tribe, and he talked about the benefits of the plants of the Sonoran Desert. Listen to what he has to say.
For centuries, the Native American people have been using the plants of the Sonoran Desert for food, medicine, spiritual needs. Prickly pear cactus, or the nopal, is a good example of that. The flowers are edible. The fruit, a great protein source, vitamin C source, and has those nice betalains in there that help chase down those free radicals in the body, help to stop inflammation in the body. The aridity of this area, a harsh desert environment, is actually what made the plants adapt and gives them a lot of their wonderful healing properties here in the Sonoran Desert.
So one of the things that we discovered was the National Institute of Health study that was done on the people in the Sonoran Desert in the US and on the Mexico side. We were very fortunate to find the study. What that study showed is the people who lived close to the earth, who lived off the plants and the fruit of the Sonoran Desert, they lived healthier, less disease, far longer lifespan as far as related to it. Well, I knew right then I needed to know about the people and how they lived. Well, back then, they didn't have running water, they didn't have sewer, some of the things that we think are important to health. Well, we went from one place to another place, and I want to take you to the Tano Forest in Arizona, to the cliffside dwelling, and for you to see how they lived. I have lived in the Sonoran Desert for 45 years, and when I first came here, I did not think of the desert as an oasis of wellness. The desert is a really harsh land. It is very hot in the summer, torrential downpours, flooding washes filled with sand and gravel, and the winters can be very cold. It is a place of extreme conditions. But we learned of a study done on people who lived in the Sonoran Desert that lived with no running water, no sewer systems, no air conditioning. Yes, they lived very close to the earth, like you see here. Yet they had no obesity, no diabetes, and other lifestyle chronic inflammatory related diseases so common today. But they had one thing in common that we now have discovered. They had a diet rich in the amazing healing plants of the Sonoran Desert. So we knew the people and how that they were healthier who lived on the plants of the Sonoran Desert. Now we had to find a plant that would grow prolific and we could harvest abundantly. And I remember when we came across the nopal cactus. It grows in many parts of the world, but only one place does this subspecies grow, and it's in the Sonoran Desert, the harshest desert because of the extreme heat and the extreme cold in the desert. Well, it is known for, amongst the people, as an anti-inflammatory plant. That I knew was amazing because our world is inflamed. We live in a toxic world. We suffer from chronic inflammation because of a toxic world, physically and emotionally and even spiritually. At times, it's a very inflamed world. Well, we were able to develop a formula along with a proprietary blend, and we brought forward Nopalea. Now, here's what we didn't know. We knew it was an anti-inflammatory. We didn't know how potent. We didn't know the results that people would have. And so we put people that we knew so they would tell us, the story that they were experiencing. And it was pretty remarkable of what was happening with people who were drinking, Nopalea and having less pain. They were more flexible. They were having more mobility. And it was that it caused us to say, we need to do a control study. So we had a large controlled study to see, would it bring down C-reactive protein, which is a marker of inflammation? And the study showed that it did. Well, then people heard about the results that people were having, and it went all over the United States and over Canada, and then people began to share their incredible and remarkable results with Nopalea. Well, somebody that I know very well, I know the condition before Nopalea, and you probably know him as well, the story of James Robinson and his experience with Nopalea. James said, "Can I have this on your program?" So here is the story of James.
Well, let me just say this to you. I had so much pain with what was called tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, that I could hardly reach over and pick up the phone without pain. I couldn't pick up something to drink, a glass of tea or anything, without it hurting me. It was very difficult to do anything without wearing a tight strap around below my elbow to be able to do anything. And then Michael shared the nopal cactus juice with me, Nopalea. I began drinking about that much in the morning in a glass and that much later in the day. And within a matter of months, I'm not exaggerating, I had my elbow shot up more than you could shoot it up anymore. You couldn't put any more cortisone in it, they told me. You've had all you can take. And in 3 months, I was a different person. I have now gone more than 10 years with no pain. Not better, well, totally well. And all the joints in my body where I have what doctors say is arthritis in every joint, I have no joint pain. I can't explain it. I'm telling you, it did something to the inflammation in my body that was undeniable. Now, that's just my testimony. But that's been more than 10 years with no pain, not better, not some better, gone. And through my body, I can tell. Matter of fact, if I miss, for some foolish reason, a few days, I can feel it creeping back that fast. So I'm just telling you what it did for me. You might want to give it a try. I say about that much in the morning, that much later in the day, and give it a try. See if it helps relieve your pain. I hope it does like it has mine. I believe in Nopalea because it worked for me.
I'm here at the family ranch we've had for nearly 40 years. You know, I love the ranch and the popping of the fire. This mantle is hand-hewn, okay, over 100 years old from the homestead. We found it here on the ranch on an old loafing shed. It was the foundation. But I also remember this. I remember when my physicians at Mayo Clinic recommended that I come here to try and recover after diagnosing me with severe chronic inflammation. I mean, I had pain that was so debilitating, so intense, I couldn't even function in a normal day. I had spent several months, going to examinations at the clinic to find the cause of this horrific pain and the sleepless nights that it had brought to me. I just want to say, if you're watching this program and you're struggling with pain, maybe in your neck, it may be in your back, okay, it's affecting you, affecting your sleep, taking away the quality of your life, I can relate to that and have great empathy for you. But I want to tell you my story to encourage you that you can overcome and manage chronic inflammation. It's good news because I had such high level of pain at times, literally. I thought I was dying. My wife, she would call 911 more than one time during that time. And there were nights when it was like, I just have to get in my car. I've got to drive down to the hospital and set out in front of the emergency room in case I needed immediate attention. That's how serious my pain level was. And here is what my physician said that I will never forget. He said, Michael, you have severe chronic inflammation in your body, in your nervous system. We can medicate your pain, but only you, me, can change the way you think about health and life. And if you don't, you will have no quality of life and you will certainly die a premature death. The pain that I experienced was so intense that when I came to the ranch, I couldn't even walk a half a mile on flat ground here at the ranch. That seemed pretty impossible because I was, before the chronic inflammation, I'd always been a jogger doing 4 or 5 miles a day. I would be here at the ranch at that time and I'd look up at the nearby mountains and think of the days that I rode my horses and packed my mules through the beautiful valleys and rode the ridges. I loved the mountains. I couldn't even get out on the ranch to fix the fence to keep the cattle in, or simply just hike the rugged, rocky terrain of the ranch. There were times that I thought, how could this be happening to me? But I also remember this. When I was at my lowest point, and I mean lowest point, with seemingly nowhere to go to find help, that I determined I would change in every way that I thought about health and wellness. I knew fitness I was a jogger, okay, but I did not know wellness. And one day, I grabbed my arm. I remember it so clearly. And I said, "You are God's temple, this body of mine. I will learn to nourish and nurture this temple." I'm on my wellness journey. And what an amazing journey it has been. And today, years later, I'm experiencing the greatest health and wellness of my life. And now I can hike the mountains, and I can hike the rugged terrain of the ranch. And I can fix fence and do all the things that I love to do. I've traveled the world in adventures, and I have founded TriVita as a wellness company. All of this since the time that I was diagnosed with chronic inflammation. I've asked physicians and wellness experts to join me in sharing their expertise and professional experience. We've developed products and programs to help people live with greater wellness, overcoming chronic inflammation just like I did. I'm thrilled to let you know that you can not only manage chronic inflammation, you can conquer it. I do believe overcoming the effects of chronic inflammation starts with a mindset and a belief that God wants us to live with wellness. That was also a part of my journey as I discovered one by one the essentials of wellness. And yes, sleep is one of those essentials, and I practice it daily. I want to give you a free digital version of my book on the 10 essentials of wellness. They are truly life-changing wellness essentials. They're simple to practice, but profound in results if followed daily. And not only do I want to give you a free ebook, I also want to give you a free bottle of Nopalea, a product that I know was a gift from God to help people overcome the effects of chronic inflammation. Now, I'm asking you to cover the cost of shipping and handling to your location, wherever you're at. But your first bottle is going to be a free gift from me. Now, this isn't magic, nor will drinking a bottle of Nopalea make all your pain disappear, but you can experience this amazing product. It is, as you can see, a bright ruby red color, and the taste is delicious. Again, I'm reminded what God said in Genesis 1:28. "Behold, I've given you every plant yielding seed on the face of the earth, and every tree with seed in them for food." Not only is Nopalea a gift from our Creator, formulated from the fruit of the noble cactus, it's science supported in results in the study in reducing pain, improved mobility and flexibility, and greater quality of life. Now here is how you may place your order.
In the blazing heat of the Sonoran Desert, life shouldn't be possible. The air is dry, the sun beats down, and the soil is rocky and thin. Yet somehow, one plant not only survives, but thrives. The nopal cactus grows strong in the most extreme desert on Earth. It produces powerful natural compounds called bioflavonoids, which help it stay vibrant and full of life under constant stress from the environment. For centuries, native people of the American Southwest have known the healing power of the nopal cactus. They used it for food, medicine, and energy in the harsh desert climate. The same fruit that helped them is now used in Nopalea. When TriVita set out to create this amazing wellness drink, they started by learning from those traditions, hand harvesting wild cactus fruit just as the indigenous peoples once did. These early efforts helped the team find the most nutrient-rich plants to use in their formula. While the wild cactus produced amazing fruit, the intense desert heat made it difficult to process the fruit quickly enough. So today, TriVita sources their nopal from farms in the same Sonoran Desert climate where they naturally grow, but now with careful attention to quality and freshness. Each nopal fruit is picked by hand at peak ripeness. This careful farming keeps its nutrients strong and ensures that every bottle of nopalea delivers the same purity and power. To keep nopalea as fresh and pure as possible, TriVita uses state-of-the-art aseptic processing. This means the drink and its container are sterilized separately, then sealed in a completely clean environment. Throughout production, the nopal puree is never touched by human hands or exposed to air. It stays as pure and vibrant as the day it was harvested. Nopalea stays cool every step of the way, from field to bottle. The puree is stored and shipped at 55 degrees Fahrenheit to protect its delicate nutrients. Inside the bright red cactus fruit lies one of nature's greatest treasures, betalains. These powerful antioxidants protect the cactus from damage caused by heat and sun. In our bodies, they help fight inflammation and support healthy cells. You'll feel the difference when your body works the way God designed it to, healthy, balanced, and full of life. From the very beginning, God filled His creation with everything we need to live and thrive. The nopal cactus is one of those gifts, filled with nutrients to help us stay well in a world full of toxins and stress. Just as the Garden of Eden was full of plants made for our good, God placed healing plants like the nopal cactus in the desert to bless us today.
I've probably done over 600 triathlons, biathlons, duathlons, sprints. It was the movement. I had to move. That's what made me happy. Although through all breaking the back and the leg and the arm and the shoulder, it created a lot more inflammation. A couple of months ago, I discovered nopalea, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna put this to the test. I love nopalea because I can go out and run with a girl that's half my age and still stay stride for stride with her, and my joints and my knees aren't bothering. It's fantastic.
I thank God for nopalea. I recommend it to anyone, anytime. It has changed my life. Now I'm free to go where I want to, whenever I want to.
Being a horse trainer can be pretty physically demanding with all the duties that I have, not just riding horses for a living, but saddling horses, caring for the horses. I really enjoy being physical. It's something I've just always loved, but I've definitely had times where it's really crippled me up. I feel like nopalea just took the edge off, and then it's continued to keep me from getting sore. It's been a huge blessing.
Now, you've heard these testimonies, but you've also heard of the discovery. And I've said this before, I believe that this was a gift from God, not only as a creator and creating the plants, but the timing for me to be there on a journey that I wasn't looking for plants. I wasn't looking for a product. I was on an adventure with those people. Well, I do believe nopalea is a gift from God. And you've heard about the science, because we've had science, and we've also had the amazing testimonies of people we know and people we don't know. I want you to have your experience with nopalea. I want to give you your first bottle free. Well, as our day concludes and the sun is setting, I hope you've enjoyed this time with me on the discovery of nopalea and the plants and the people of the Sonoran Desert, a very special place, and God created them for our medicinal value and for our nutritional value. Thank you for joining with me today.
The preceding program was brought to you by TriVita.